All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Robin Rap Outdoors, and today we are doing something a little bit different. So I'm going to be going over the top spring walleye baits because in my opinion, springtime walleye is the best time to go after walleye, and luckily where I live, there is a plethora of really good walleye fisheries in the area. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, bait number one that I want to talk about is the hair jig. Now, you want to be throwing this right away early spring when that water temp is still really cold because those fish are just going to be hugging the bottom and not really doing a whole lot. So this is the Northland Deep V bucktail jig, and I believe this is a swamp donkey hair jig that I caught out of the Fox River, snagged on a branch, so can't go wrong there. Now, the two ways you can throw these hair jigs is you can either cast it out, let it hit the bottom, and just hop it up off the ground with some light rod tips. Or, what I personally like to do is cast it out, keep your rod tip up, then you're just going to be doing one little pump with the rod, one little pump with the rod, and just keep going until the walleye smacks it. Now, you can rig these one of two ways. You can throw a minnow on the back, or what I personally like to do is just throw a stinger hook on the back. And now, for the hair jig, if you have a, let's say, 7 to 7.6 medium light rod, that's ideally what you want to be throwing these guys on. Pretty easy to fish in my opinion. I mean, I just picked it up this year and so far it's been treating me pretty good. So on to the next bait. All right, bait number two, the old plastic in a jig. Now, also another technique I've just picked up this year and already love it. I have the Authentics Moxie rigged up on another Northland Deep V jig. And on this one, I have the ringworm rigged up to another Northland Deep V jig. Now, the way you want to fish these is you want to cast them out, let them go all the way down to the bottom. Then you can either do one of two things. You can either just slow retrieve with a couple of pumps, same as the hair jig, or you can lift your rod tip up, and then when it falls down and catches in the current, it's really going to flutter coming back down. So, me personally, I prefer that cadence just because it gives it a little bit more action. And those fish are a lot more likely to be hitting an active bait, hopping around, rather than one just getting dragged across the ground. So that's my preference. And you want to be throwing these on typically your favorite jigging rods. So if you got anything like 7 foot to 7.6, medium light, you're good to go. Bait number three that I want to discuss is the blade bait. Now, you can also throw these pretty early on in the spring as well. And typically what you want to be doing is just cast it out, let it hit the bottom, then just a light rod tip up so you can feel this bait vibrating, and then let it sink back to the bottom. Now, these do get caught in rocks pretty easily, so personally, I throw a 6.6 medium spinning rod with these guys, and typically can get them out of the rocks pretty easily depending on where I'm fishing. And if you notice, I have a snap on this guy, and the reason for that is sometimes the line likes to get caught in the trebles here as you're ripping it, so try to prevent that from happening. Put a snap on it, fish it a lot more effectively. So this is the Bee Fishin' blade bait, which I would argue one of the better blade baits on the market, and I'm running a 1/2 ounce on this one, but blade baits typically you want to be throwing somewhere between 1/2 ounce to 1/4 ounce depending on where you're fishing, current, wind. And over here, I have the Acme V-Rod, which I would also argue is a top blade bait on the market, and both run about $8 a piece. All right, the last bait I'm going to discuss today is the Rapala Rip and Wrap, which you want to be throwing a little bit later in the season because this is more of a more aggressive bait due to the rattles on the inside. And now, they come in a variety of colors, and they make really nice walleye colors, such as this one. But those ones will cost you an extra arm and a leg, which, in my opinion, is kind of worth it. So these, you want to be fishing pretty much the exact same way you fish the blade bait, where you're just casting it out, letting it hit the bottom, and then just a little raise your rod tip till you feel that bait vibrating and let it back down. I would try to rip it no more than a foot. It's really about all you need. And overall, these are pretty much just as easy to fish as the blade bait and really fun to throw. All right, that's going to conclude today's episode. I try to keep it short and sweet for you guys, just like, let's say you're on the boat and you're curious what to throw. Quick little video for you, and then get right back at them. So if you like today's episode and you want some more videos like this, I can do a top spring bass video as well. And that's about all I have for you. So if you like today's video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one. bye.